Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. Stand up for your country. So I'm trying to watch the Trump coverage last night on the cable news. I mean, network news, forget it. I mean, they're not going to give you anything at 6:30, whenever it comes on in your neighborhood. I don't bother with that anymore. But, you know, the cable will get 3-4 hours prime time, and I had to turn it off. It was just, I didn't learn anything. It was so predictable. The left-wingers say this, the right-wingers say that. All right. So now I'm going to give you information you will get nowhere else. All right? I promise you. And the information is very, very important to the country. All right? And it has to do with using the criminal justice system to prosecute presidential candidates. All right? That's the highest level. And that's where we are now. We're at the highest level of possible corruption in this country. Doesn't get any higher than this. Even if President Biden took money from his son and brother, it's not worse. That's not worse than using the justice system to eliminate a viable presidential candidate. I think you'd all agree with that. All right? So we are at the apex of this, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So we're going back to 1800, the year 1800. Thomas Jefferson elected president, okay? And Aaron Burr is the vice president. Now, they didn't run on the same ticket. Back then, the states were responsible for voting for president. Didn't have a popular vote, had no way to tabulate it. So Jefferson and Burr, I mean, they didn't really like each other, were from opposing parties. And Jefferson really had suspicions about Burr, who eventually exposed himself as one of the great American scoundrels of all time. Fast forward to 1804, Jefferson runs for president again. He fires Burr, okay, because he loathed him by that point, all right? And he puts New York Governor George Clinton as VP. Jefferson wins. Burr then vanishes out west and concocts a scheme to seize land west of the Appalachians, west of the Mississippi. Much of that land was under control of Spain, which ran Mexico. I know it's getting a little confusing now, but there was no Central American authority at that point in history west of the Appalachian Mountains. Burr wanted to set up his own government with him as a dictator. Jefferson immediately said, Burr is committing treason. Publicly said it. President of the United States, treason. My former vice president is treasonous. He's trying to do this. So Burr's arrested. All right? And he's tried in a federal court in Virginia for treason. Now, in the meantime, Burr had assassinated, maybe that's the wrong word, Alexander Hamilton in a duel in Weehawken, New Jersey, which overlooks Manhattan. All right, that became before this treason stuff. But Burr was widely loathed by everybody. Enter the judge of the treason trial, John Marshall. Does that name ring a bell? First Supreme Court Justice, John Marshall, presides over the treason trial in Virginia that is accusing Aaron Burr. Now, if Burr were found guilty, Jefferson wanted him executed. That wouldn't have happened. They probably would have banished him or deported him or something. I don't think they would have hung him, but they might have. They could have. So Marshall and Thomas Jefferson were cousins. You didn't know that, did you? I didn't know that, but I've been researching this like crazy. They did not like each other. Now, Jefferson was not a real likable guy. Marshall was a very smart guy. Anyway, Marshall directs the trial to acquit Aaron Burr. He's the big guy in the courtroom, Marshall. And the jury goes along with it. Aaron Burr is found not guilty. Jefferson goes wild. Now, some historians the shallow ones, said that Marshall directed the trial to get Burr off because he hated Jefferson. That's not true. Marshall was so smart, and if you read anything about him, if you look at his record, if you look at his life, this is a brilliant guy. He knew that if Thomas Jefferson could put a noose around Aaron Burr's neck, that any politician could be in the same situation, carrying on. He knew. Because the evidence against Burr was overwhelming. Burr did it, but the witnesses were flimsy, and it was Jefferson driving this train. So Marshall said, no, not going to give political parties or one or two men the power to eliminate political opposition through the justice system. Nobody knows this, but this is the key to the Trump situation. All right? Now, this is why you watch and listen to me, because you find this nowhere else. So we fast forward now into 2023. I, your humble correspondent, am thoroughly convinced the charges against Donald Trump in total are politically motivated. Okay? I have studied them. I know that in New York City, the District Attorney Alvin Bragg would not have prosecuted this Stormy Daniels case for anybody else. Here in New York City, heavyweight drug dealers don't get prosecuted. Criminals found with loaded weapons on their person don't get prosecuted because Bragg doesn't believe in incarceration. So this Stormy Daniels thing, never. And Bragg has not even said what the federal law violation is after all of this time. So that is totally bogus. That goes out the window, politically motivated. The January 6th stuff by the special counsel, Smith, is theoretical. Trump knew the election was legit, but lied about it to keep power. I don't believe that for a second, and I don't believe Smith can prove that. Particularly if Mike Pence said in court what he said on television. He goes, White House didn't tell me to do anything unlawful. I heard all this from the media. Now, Trump wanted Pence to delay the electoral count, no doubt, because Trump was told by his attorney, John Eastman, that was constitutional. That'll be presented in court. So Smith's accusation that Trump knew he lost the election but lied about it is flimsy to say the least. And most prosecutors never would have brought that case. Unless he's got something that we haven't seen, and maybe he does. All right? Mar-a-Lago, Trump did it. If you read my message of the day, I don't understand this to this day. Just send the Blinken documents back to the National Archives. What do you care? I don't get it. He did it. Now you'll go, what about Biden? What about when they confronted Biden? Biden said, take anything you want back. All right? But Obama had him, but Obama didn't resist. Trump resisted. Why? So that case has got to stand. It's already brought. Supreme Court's not going to throw it out. And the Georgia thing is just insane. If you read that indictment, it's 19 people. It's again theoretical, totally theoretical. We need to find 11,000 what votes. Fine, what does that mean? There's reasonable doubt about what that sentence means. And Fani Willis waited 2.5 years to file that because that was the Democratic strategy. Hit him here, hit him there, and hit him here. That's political. So John Marshall, if he were the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court today, would know all this. And John Roberts does as well, as do the other 8 Supreme Court justices. They know this is politically driven. That's not to exonerate Donald Trump. I'm not exonerating him. He handled it poorly a number of ways. All right? He did. If you're going to tell me he didn't, then I don't think you're in the real world, although I respect your opinion. I'm not going to denigrate you for holding an opinion that Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong or whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. But the facts show he could have easily handled this in another way, and avoided all this grief for him and the Republican Party. That's what I say in the message, and I hope everybody reads it on BillO'Reilly.com. All right, so summing up. Trump has to get a constitutional attorney, the best in the world. So maybe there's somebody living abroad. Has to do that. He's got to get these cases in front of the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court would pretty much do what John Marshall did with Jefferson Burr. Say, this is politically motivated. These charges are flimsy. Can't do it with Mar-a-Lago, so I would plea that. Trump, don't think he's ever going to plea out, but I would. If I were him, I'd say, I made a mistake. I should have acted quicker. I had no malice. I didn't do anything to hurt national security, which he didn't. This is all about him not following the rules. And he didn't. So if you can get that out, then the Supreme Court can come in and say, you know, this is unconstitutional in a variety of ways, but you need a very smart attorney to present that case. All right? You got any questions at all? Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. We will put aside some space tomorrow, some time and space to answer any of your questions about this week, and that is the memo. Hey, it's time to take care of your liver. Data from the American Heart Association indicates that adults with fatty liver were 3.5 times more likely to have heart failure than those without. The American Liver Foundation says that 100 million Americans have fatty livers. These days, we throw everything at our bodies: cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, statins, cigarettes. No wonder so many of us have a sluggish, fatty liver. Your liver helps your body with hundreds of daily functions. It's time you help your liver with Liver Health Formula. Liver Health Formula is an all-natural, American-made supplement that contains 12 clinically proven botanicals to recharge and protect your liver. So try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of nano-powered omega-3 to keep your heart healthy. Go to getliverhelp.com/Bill, claim your free gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Bill. Okay, let's go to the mail. Michael Long, Lee Summit, Missouri. How did grand juries get chosen? How does it work? Okay, regular folks get a summons. 23 people in whatever area, whatever county, on the grand jury. Takes 12 to indict. That's how it goes. Getting a little mail, you got to show up, do your duty. Steve Webb, St. George, Utah. In the documents trial with Donald Trump, will he be able to subpoena Bill Clinton, George Bush, and Barack Obama to discuss their classified documents? Yeah, they won't come into the courtroom, but the judge should allow a deposition to the three men. Absolutely. Mike Johnson, Atlanta. I'm worried that Michelle Obama is going to run. I agree with you regarding she would be a shoo-in. If she does, she would absolutely crush Trump. Right now, looks that way. Joyce Smith, Burnett, Texas. She said yesterday Michelle Obama would win the election if she ends up the nominee for the Democrats. What are your facts behind that opinion? Polling, way ahead of everybody. And her book sales. Astronomical book sales. Nobody comes close. And the people that buy Michelle Obama's book, a lot of them aren't reading it. They're just buying it because it helps her. Thomas, concierge member, and we urge everybody to check out the concierge membership, a life insurance policy for you. Whatever problem you have, I will help you directly. Thomas says, Bill, you always say there was no election fraud. Right away, Thomas, you are misreporting what I said. I clearly stated on a number of occasions there was fraud. What there isn't is evidence that it would have turned the election in Trump's favor. Okay. Do I honestly believe Joe Biden received 80 million votes? I don't know. But if he didn't, I was ready to look at all the information that came in, and nothing has risen. Every journalist will tell you that. Roberta Staniland, Jayton, Texas. Bill, do you think White House aides bother to read letters from the folks? No. If you write to your senator or congressperson or president, chances are a staffer might read it, but they're never going to read it in a million years. David, concierge member, whenever you discuss the rise of gas prices, you rarely mention those of us who reside in California paying another buck. I always mention it. What's the matter with you guys tonight? You get the highest state tax on gas in the country, probably in the world. Well, maybe that's not true. In the country. That's why you're paying so much. Ethan, you can bash Hillary Clinton all you want, but she won the popular vote against Trump. The Electoral College must be abolished. If the Electoral College, Ethan, is abolished in America, our democracy is finished. Because the reason Hillary Clinton won the popular vote is California and New York. They are dramatically liberal states and always will be that. Because so many people live in those two states, a Republican can't win the popular vote. The Republican can win many more states, but not the popular vote. So the question, Ethan, is, do you want LA and New York running this country? If you do, then you abolish the vote. John, O'Reilly, you are the best because you are the best. Okay, I'll take it. Very nice of you to say so. Okay, let's go to the touts. Killing the Witches out September 26th. I didn't check today, but if you want a hand-signed copy, you got to get it in because we only have a limited amount of those, and I think they're almost sold out. But we want you to pre-order the book on BillO'Reilly.com, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all of that. You will love Killing the Witches. New York State of Mind, live show, me and Sid Rosenberg at WABC. There are 150 tickets left. That's it. But some of those seats are really good. However, with only 150 left, go to BillO'Reilly.com, Ticketmaster, Paramount Theater in Huntington, Long Island. We'll set you up. But if you want to see us, got to get a move on it. Killing Crazy Horse, Killing the Killers, Killing the Legends, $32.95. Plus you get a Team Normal hat. We got 2 more weeks on that. So you want those books at a tremendous price. Got to move now. And there is 15% off all Team Normal gear. Late summer sale, 15% off. Okay, back with the final thought in a moment. Well, you did the tough thing during COVID. You paid your people and pulled your business through the pandemic. And now you could qualify for up to $26,000 per employee at covidtaxrelief.org. Government funds are available to reward companies with 2 or more employees who stayed open during COVID. This is not a loan. You don't have to pay it back. Nobody knows about this more than the CPAs and tax experts at covidtaxrelief.org. You pay nothing up front. They do the work and share a percentage of the cash they get back for you. Even those businesses who took PPP loans can qualify. Nonprofits and churches as well. So let covidtaxrelief.org help you get up to $26,000 per employee. Visit covidtaxrelief.org. That's covidtaxrelief.org. Here is the final thought of the day, very brief. I don't call President Trump. He calls me occasionally. The next time he calls, I will tell him this. If he asks, I don't intrude. Number one, you need the best constitutional lawyer in the country, as I said early in the broadcast. Number two, think about the Mar-a-Lago thing. See if you can work that out. You get that off your plate, the Supreme Court much more likely to come in and rule that this is a political prosecution. And third, don't need any more personal attacks. You can defend yourself, and I hope you do in every rally you have. Defend yourself. But the personal attacks at this point don't do you any good. That's it. Final thought. See you tomorrow for the No Spin News. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.